and now we wait. So we have 4 minutes until hopefully a few people log on. This is obviously going to be, this is recorded, so if you're watching this as the recording, I'm sorry that you have to just look at my face for the next couple of minutes before we get started. Hopefully a few people just log on and we can start fairly soon. Yeah, what's the weather like for you guys, wherever you are? It's the 15th of November and Melbourne's cold. It's 15 degrees here. It's not that great, but there you go. Hope you've had all had a good morning. Managed to move at all? I came for a walk, had a little HIIT workout. Woke up a bit sore, so didn't do what I was planning to do. That's okay, we can work with that. I'll probably say it again, but just so while I remember, I have got notes here, so if I do look down, it's because of that. And I apologise if I fiddle with my hair or scratch my head. Oh, I have one person. Hey, Wendy. I was just talking to myself or whoever's watching the recording, just talking about the weather, because that's a good filler. And I was saying that I've got notes, so if I look down, then that's what I'm doing. Just going to wait for a couple more minutes because I've got 2 more minutes until people can log on. And people are in lunch breaks and stuff like that, so it might take them a while to log on. Thanks for joining me and being interested in what I've got to say regarding this topic. I'll talk about Christmas and what it means to me as we go on, but I've written a blog post about this and I've shared it last year, and it will also be in the Tag magazine in Hawthorne in the next couple of weeks. So I think it's a good topic to talk about now as we go into the festive season. I'm going to encourage you to talk or to think a lot about mindset today and actually think about what Christmas means to you and what it doesn't. And so I want you to leave today with the feeling of you don't have to do anything you don't want to because it's Christmas, and having it being Christmas shouldn't just be an excuse to write everything else off. I'll probably say that quite a few times today, so apologies if it gets a bit boring. So I'm going to give everyone another minute. So let me see. Does anyone want to just make sure? Hi, Liz. So I've got the chat box open. Can someone just type something in there for me so I can know that it's working? If someone could write something. No, maybe that's just me are right for you. I don't know. Ah, both. Hi. Hi, ladies. Nat, hello. Lunchtime for you. Okay, so I've got a few of you on now, so I will start because I know that some of you are probably on a time limit. So I'm just going to share my screen so that I can show you my slides. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Okay, so hopefully you can see my slides now and my face is a lot smaller. Okay, so staying healthy this Christmas. You're in the right place if you want to listen to me for the next half an hour, 40 minutes, talk to you about staying healthy, my tips and advice, so what I give to my clients, what I've been talking about over social media. So if you do see this on the recording and you did just find me on social media and you were curious about what I was saying, it's all about, I want to talk to you about mindset and your values and being a little less overwhelmed with Christmas and keeping on track. I think I use the term keep on keeping on quite a lot in a lot of things. So yeah, I've written a blog post recently about finishing the year strong. So Christmas is at the end of the year. I really don't want people to just write themselves off. So obviously this is me now talking to you, but these are a few things that I enjoy doing. I love to cook. I'm not saying I'm the best cook in the world, but I love it. I love feeding people. I love to run. I do train a lot. Not sure I love it that much as that picture would suggest. So me, just generally, I'm a health and wellbeing coach. I do a lot of nutrition coaching. I do group coaching. I do health and wellness coaching. I run my own company called The Wellness Hall. That's my name, Rebecca Hall. So that's a little fun fact. And I've had that business for about just over a year now. And I also do a lot of personal training. So I have a lot of experience with people's changing of mindsets or meeting a lot of people at the end of December or the beginning of January. And I feel that I want to help people change their mindset of Christmas or what Christmas means or what it needs to involve, and I want people to feel a lot more healthy and well at the beginning of January. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Welcome to everyone. I now can't see if there's anybody else joining, so if you write something to me as well, I can't see that. This is my first webinar, so yeah, a few teething problems, well not problems, but a few things that I don't know how to work or can't pop up, so just bear with me, but as long as you can see my slides, that's great. Okay, so why do I love Christmas? Now I know I've got a few of my clients or ex-clients on here. I love Christmas. My values, the things that drive me are my friends, my family, as well as food and feeding people and having people over for dinner or for breakfast or everything in between. So Christmas is a great time to bring everyone together. I now have 2 little nephews, so it's about having a great time with them and presents and all of that stuff. So I love Christmas, so let's just not take away from the fact that I love Christmas. I'm not here to be a Scrooge. I don't want anybody to not enjoy Christmas. I don't want anyone to feel deprived at Christmas. As I said, it's just a case of me trying to change your mindset or altering your mindset about what Christmas is and what it is for you, and not just a complete write-off. So with that, I urge you to think about Christmas for you, what you love about Christmas, what does it mean to you? As I've already said, Christmas to me is a time of friends and family. I'm from the UK. I live in Melbourne, so I go home to everyone and see them all and catch up. And we're doing Christmas. I'm doing Christmas with my brother and sister-in-law this year, so I'm helping with all the food. So it's a big thing. I'm currently figuring out the meal plans and looking at Pinterest at different Christmas table settings and stuff like that. So it's a fun time for me. It's a time of family, food and presents. It's not that for everyone, but it is for a lot of people. But if you had to take a few things away from what that feeling of Christmas is for you, what would they be? And that's going to come out later with in terms of then where you prioritise a few different things. So just hopefully you've got a notebook, but just have a little think. What does Christmas mean to you? And what doesn't it mean to you? And yeah, we'll just go from there. So in terms of a healthy Christmas, what is healthy, right? So we'll just do a general terminology of what is healthy. So for me, healthy is a sense of well-being. So that's a sense of balance. So physical, mental, spiritual. Now, I'm not talking meditating and elevation and out-of-body experiences. When I say physical, spiritual, I mean, what are your values? If you know your values, then your sense of well-being is greater. If you're physically well, then obviously you're free of disease. If you're mentally well, you have a good positive image of yourself. You have positive thoughts most of the time. You feel a lot of positive emotions more than negative emotions, and so as I said, your sense of well-being is balanced to a certain extent. Healthy is also exercising, but what I say to a lot of people, especially people that I start, new clients that I train, is exercising. If you're not exercising, we can just call it movement. So movement is going for a walk, it's stretching, it's doing a few strengthening exercises with a band. These elastic bands, they're all over the internet. You must have seen them. So it's doing 10 minutes of that with those in the morning. It's just being active. So as I said, it can be a walk, it can be swimming, it doesn't have to be going to the gym, it doesn't have to be playing a sport, it just means moving. What is healthy in terms of portion control? That's understanding your portion controls and what you eat, and also knowing when to say stop. So that's a hormonal thing as well. Sometimes if you're leptin resistant, then you don't know when to stop. That could feed back into a whole heap of different physical well-being factors or even mental well-being factors. So as I said, healthy comes from all aspects. Balanced meals, we'll go through macronutrients a little bit later and how to build your plate, but healthy comes from having balanced meals. I think I definitely say it later on in these slides, but balanced isn't just about calories in, calories out and swapping something in. and ignoring something else. So I don't want you to be not eating your greens, and that's 200 calories that you can save to eat a mince pie. That's not a balanced meal. It's about getting all of your nutrients in, macros and micronutrients. And your micronutrients do come from your fruits and vegetables. Anyone that is coached by me or watches me on social media will know that I'm very big on vegetables. Like in this photo, you've got your sweet potato, so there's fibre there, there's carbohydrate, there's a whole heap of nutrients in there, magnesium, potassium. You've got your kale, which is another form of carbohydrate. There's feta, which is your protein. There's fennel, which is another veg. And your feta also has your fats in there, so it's balanced out of your macros. Health is also limiting your alcohol. Alcohol isn't good for us. There's, depending on what fence you sit on, 1 glass of wine at dinner is good, yes. Excessive amounts of alcohol is nowhere does it say is it good for us. It's a bit like sugar. We don't really get much. Well, sugar we don't get any nutrients from. Alcohol we don't get a lot from. So you got to balance that. So it's limited alcohol. And I think the last one is something that is forgotten a little bit or pushed to the side, and people think that they can sleep, they can live off of a lot less sleep than they actually can. So good quality sleep, so that's 7 to 8 hours sleep a night. I know there's some of you mums that are watching, so I know that you think that that's a luxury, but I encourage you, Hannah, I'll be home for Christmas, so as I've said, you can have some quality sleep. But getting a good night's sleep is definitely something that contributes to your overall health and your overall well-being. And now I've put this one down at the bottom because all of that has to stay consistent, right? And that consistency then forms habits. So healthy, in general terms, is health is a habit forming thing, and you have to be consistent. You have to show up for yourself like you've done today. You showed up for yourself, and keep an eye on these things and keep doing them every day so that they do become habits. So what do I want you to take away from today? Not all of these bullet points, but you can do if that works for you. But I just wrote a whole list down here because if you can take 1 or 2 away, that would be great. The first one is I don't want you to feel as overwhelmed about Christmas. So Christmas is a chaotic time of year, yes, but it doesn't have to be. That comes with your mindset, and that comes with figuring out what Christmas means to you and your values. And then I would like you to think about a plan of action and tools to create this plan in terms of where your social engagements are, where your healthy meals can still be built in, where your exercise plan can come from. And so, yes, I want you to create a practical vision. So what does Christmas in an ideal world look like for you, and where can you slot all the healthy stuff in, and go from there. And I want to change, this feeds into the feeling overwhelmed, but I want to change your mindset around Christmas if it is, or if Christmas is a bit too sort of stressful for you. I want to sort of bring it all in and narrow it down and make you feel a bit calmer, and maybe change your perspective on a few things. I want to encourage you to carry on exercising and maybe give you a few different examples or ideas of what exercise you could do. And then breaking down some barriers that Christmas period might throw up, because the overwhelming feelings then create barriers. And as I said, I don't want you to write Christmas. I don't want you to write yourself off because it's Christmas. Chocolate doesn't have to be involved in your Christmas. Drinking every day in December doesn't have to be in your festive period. So yeah, just a few barriers to break down. And then I want you to be excited about the new year. I don't want you, what I'm trying to get people to do is, what I'm trying to get over the line this year is that you start the 1st of Jan as the best version of yourself. That's, as a coach, that's really what I strive for with everything. Obviously it's a journey, but I don't want you to start with resolutions. I want you to start with a real goal, energized, and start as a healthy and happier you. So obviously you're going to have fun at Christmas, but yeah, just trying to keep things in check a little bit more. So what happens over the festive period? What do you think? What happens over your festive period? So in my experience with myself and with clients, there's more frequent catch-ups with friends and work colleagues. There's a lot more chocolates and treats on offer in the supermarkets and then in the office, because how do we celebrate? How do we show love and appreciation? We buy chocolates, we buy treats, we buy cakes, we bring people together with all of that stuff, and they all go on offer, they all go on special. I mean, if you've seen my stories, I can't get over how many offers there are in the chocolate aisle and stuff like that. And when they all started, I mean, mince pies were out 2 for 1 in October, so it's just crazy. So these are the things that we're dealing with. You have more social engagements at work, so more work functions, and depending on your work, I mean, I've got a lot of clients that are themselves client facing in terms of work, and so they go out with lots of different clients, and that's a lunch here, or a Christmas party there, or a dinner, and it just all builds up. So again, this is where this webinars come from, because of experience, and yeah, just trying to make you aware of what it needs to be and what it doesn't need to be. And then obviously Christmas lunch and dinner are the main events, unless we're 5, like my nephew, and the main event is Santa in the morning. But for us adults, it's watching the kids, which is the best part, and the healthiest part. It's the part that brings us the most joy, right? And the joy that just stays there in our hearts and makes us smile. Our positive thoughts are a lot more fleeting than our negative thoughts. So what we say as coaches, or health and wellness coaches, are that we need 5 times as many positive thoughts in a day than we do negative. And to start our Christmas day or Christmas Eve with the joy of watching children opening presents, that's a great, absolutely great way to start our day. And that joy, because it's so pure, just does hang around a little bit more. But then we do move into the drinks and the lavish food. So what I want to talk to you about is that the lavish food doesn't just have to be front and center. The lavish food can be healthy food as well. So yeah, that's what I'm going to try and convey to you through this webinar. So the festivities start. So what starts to slip? Now, I think most people try and do the whole non-drinking during the week. That definitely starts to slip when we have Christmas functions during the week. So that's, again, something to think about. If Christmas is a time of reconnecting with people for you, or it is quite a lot of work-based stuff for you, and going out with clients or catching up with friends is something that is all to do with drinking, then that's something that you need to put on your notepad and then figure out how we're going to counteract that. That might be not drinking so much during the at the weekend. But Christmas inevitably means more calorific meals. As I've said here, think honey glazed ham or brie and cranberry sandwiches. I mean, they're delicious, right? But we can't keep trim, or we can't sleep well as well as we do, or keep the brain fog away, or the tiredness away if we are eating these foods all the time. So again, one of my urges is to plan these things and eat a lot more healthy around them. Now, this one comes from being a PT for so long, and the early morning or the weekend exercise sort of goes by the wayside. So we get a lot more cancellations in December in the early mornings because people are too tired from the socializing. Again, changing mindset or planning a little bit more, I'd encourage you to fit the exercise routine on its head if this is the case. And then, because we're too busy eating brie and cranberry sandwiches or roast pork and delicious roast potatoes, and we get filled up on that, then our 5 serves of vegetables sort of slips away, and also drinking as much water. These are the things that by the end of it you're going to be sick of hearing me say. Just carry on with eating your 5 serves of vegetables a day, and definitely drinking all of your water. So in my opinion, and in my experience, this is what starts to slip. So I urge you, these are the things what not to do. Sorry, I think I keep trying to talk to myself, which is really off-putting. Should be talking to you guys here. Don't use the phrase, but it's Christmas. I've already had a few of my nutrition clients, my coaching clients talk about, oh, next year it's Christmas soon, I'm going to eat X, Y, and Z, and because it's Christmas. Now, if Christmas to you is making cookies, Christmas cookies and Christmas cakes with your daughter, your son, your mum, your gran, then absolutely do that. But if you eat the chocolate just because it's there, like I used to, like my dad does, then there's no need for it. Flip your mindset. Don't be in that, oh, it's Christmas. Don't open that bottle of wine at home with your partner or with a friend on a Tuesday because it's Christmas. Christmas is at best 3 days, and at the end of December we've still got 6 weeks to go. So don't use that term, please. This is where I'm talking about mindset. And don't stop making your home cooked meals. Still do your food prep. I mean, if you read my blog post on food prep a while ago, a couple of weeks ago now, it doesn't have to be that complicated. You can just pick your staples that you like to eat and carry on with those. But you need to carry on with that, even though you think Christmas is a bit crazy. Again, it's that whole planning, right? So by now you should know where all of your Christmas socials are, and plan around it. And yeah, as I said, don't see December as a write-off and that you can make up for it in January. It's so much harder to start further back in January than it is to just roll on through and be happier and healthier in Jan. And one of my ladies last week said that she's actually said no to a few Christmas catch-ups because she doesn't need to see these people before Christmas. I mean, Christmas is, as I said, it's 3 days. You can see people after Christmas. You can see people in the new year. It's only 6 weeks away. And if you do have catch-ups, have it in a park. Go for a walk. Go to the movies. It doesn't have to be over celebratory drinks. It doesn't have to be a big meal. So yes, just learn to say no. That's that mindset again, and perspective, and what's your value over Christmas, right? Please, 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 please don't cancel your gym membership. If you don't have a gym membership in January, it's so much harder to reorganize it all, and you just keep putting it off. I see so many people cancel their gym membership, and even if you get in there 50% less, it's still 50% more than if you were to cancel it. Even if you go in there once a week, just that day where you said no to that Christmas drink on a Tuesday, and so that Wednesday morning you get in there, or if you've said no to that Friday, or if you Friday night client drinks, or you've had sparkling water and you can go to the gym on the Saturday, at least you have the gym membership there. Don't cancel, don't put off, don't do anything of that sort. These are the barriers that you're putting up for yourself. As I say a lot, just keep on keeping on. So these are the things not to do. And then comes understanding. Understand where your calories are coming from. Understand what's important to you, and go from there. Understand your schedule, right, for the next 6 weeks. So there's 250 calories in 5 quality streets or celebrations. I know this because I put it into my Fitness Pal. And then there's also around 200 calories in 50 grams of Dauphinoise delicious triple cream brie or cheddar cheese and a mince pie. So when you go to these parties and there's a tray of mince pies and there's a cheese board, just remember that pretty much every time you pick something up, that's 200 calories. If you're a woman of my build, I'm allowed 1,700 calories a day. If you're a 6'2" guy, you're probably allowed 2,500 calories. Some women will be allowed 2,000 calories. But if you're drinking at a work function or a friend's Christmas party, if you're drinking, that's roughly 150 calories per drink. And then that's 200 calories that you're putting in your mouth every time you have something from the grazing platter. It just adds up. So just understand that it adds up pretty quickly. I don't know if I've conveyed this yet, but staying healthy doesn't mean not having any Christmas cheer. As I said, Christmas to me, I love Christmas and I have fun at Christmas. This comes from a personal place where I've ended the year not feeling great. So this is my gift to you of just trying to help you go into the festive season a little bit more mindful, a little bit more aware of where things can creep up on you, or where things can fall down a little bit. So it doesn't have to be devoid of Christmas cheer. It just means that you do a little bit more around the Christmas celebrations. And I think I've already said this, not exercising for the month of December will make January so much harder. And you can just mix up how you eat and not deprive yourself. I mean, I'm not going to not have roast potatoes cooked in fat or goose fat, whatever Hannah wants to make them in this year. And I'm not going to not eat the Christmas pudding for you Aussies, the plum pudding, mean, I've never had pavlova. Well, I've had pavlova, but it's not my bag, so I wouldn't eat that this year. And I definitely won't eat that stuff leading up to Christmas Day. I'm going to save it for Christmas Day. It'll be a lot nicer because I haven't eaten it consistently over the last couple of weeks. When I went out for dinner with my girlfriends last year, back in the UK, we went out for our Christmas catch-up was, although there was a lot of drinking with 4 girls that met each other at university, that's how we bond. We went for Asian fusion, and so I think we went poke bowls and sashimi and stuff like that. So just because it was Christmas, it was cold, doesn't mean that we had to eat all of those heavy Christmas foods 5 days before Christmas, because we knew we were going to go into that kind of eating December 24th, 25th and 26th. So yeah, just understand. Again, understand what Christmas means to you and understand where it can all add up, and that exercising, movement, it's key, even in December. So where to start? Okay, so as I've said, plan out your parties and plan out your workouts. So if you've got a big calendar like me, a big diary like me, I'll show you my... Every Saturday in December is full up, but that means I'm probably not going to exercise much on the Sunday. But on the Saturday morning, like hell yeah, I'm gonna exercise. I'm gonna go for a run, or I'm gonna do a high intensity workout. And I'm probably not going to do much on the Friday nights because I've got so much going on the Saturday. I've got a few things on a Thursday. I've got one thing on a Friday as well. And I'm going to slot my workouts in around that. Chris, at this time of year, in the middle of the day, I'm really busy with health and wellness coaching and PT clients. So I'm actually reducing myself to doing high intensity 20-minute workouts instead of my big strength workouts now, and trying to get my runs in as and when I can. So that's usually the weekends. So it's just a case of planning, right? If you normally train Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays in the mornings, but you're having a lot of work functions on a Thursday, change your Friday morning session. Change it to a Saturday morning, or change it to the Thursday morning, so that you've already trained those 3 times that week. Just have a look at your schedule and see where else you can fit it in. I'm a big fan of smoothies if you can't do anything else for breakfast, and I'm a big fan of smoothies because you can pack them full of greens. You can get your vital greens or the green powder that I tell most of my clients to get, and you can get your 5 serves of fruit and vegetables a day there. It's an easy way to do it. I know a few of you who have signed on here, you do it through my advice or through your own understanding, or try intermittent fasting. So if you're going out for big meals or big lunch dinners or big lunches, maybe try skipping breakfast every now and again. Or if you've got a lunch and a dinner on, maybe the day after is a 600 calorie day. So you just have very small meals: soup, boiled eggs, a smoothie with your green powder in it. Just flip things on their heads. Just figure out what works for you, and don't compromise on the good green stuff. Who drinks sparkling water? I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like it, but water and berries, sparkling or not, it's a great way to not feel that you're depriving yourself by just drinking water. Have one of these for every glass of champagne. I mean, that doesn't always happen, but it is something to think about, or something to stick to one night with a work function. And you don't have to drink every work function, especially if you do have work the next day. And then train with a partner or move with a partner. Go for a walk. One of my ladies, I'm so proud of her, she's now walking 3 times a week. She's walking with a girlfriend, right? So they're accountable for each other. So they make each other get up. They go at 6 a.m. It's brilliant. Find someone that you can train with, that you can move your body with, even if it's yoga. If you do feel overwhelmed about Christmas, maybe yoga is a great way to center yourself and get in touch with your breathing a little bit more, to calm yourself. And it alters your perspective as well. It makes you a lot calmer. Or find a group fitness class that you can go with a friend, maybe a work friend in the middle of the day, or at lunchtime, or after work when you don't have a function. Just, as I said in my post last week or the week before about starting the year strong, ending the year strong, sorry, you don't put things off until January now. There's still time to start stuff. Okay, so that could mean a new exercise regime. It's just the thought. And something that the advice that I give to all of my nutrition clients is to build your plate with vegetables first. So put your Brussels sprouts on there. Put your spinach, put your carrots, put your parsnips. Do all of that stuff before you put any of the meat and any of the other deliciousness that Christmas throws up. Just throw this one in here. Salads should survive the festivities. It's those 5 serves of vegetables a day. I mean, you can always have a side salad with everything. You can have a side salad with everything and anything. So don't lose the salads. Some salads, you can have a broccoli, kale, clementine or orange, honey and walnut salad. A salad, as I keep trying to tell my dad, doesn't have to consist of lettuce, tomato and cucumber. You can make it all festive, which we'll move on to now. So healthy festive foods. I got this from Jamie Oliver. I say I got it, I mean, it's not rocket science, but he put it down in a nice little list. Festive foods, Brussels sprouts, they're delicious. Parsnips, carrots, you could make a warm side just of those, even if it's not on Christmas Day. Clementines and oranges. So those citrus fruits are so quintessentially Christmas, it's not even funny. You can put those in your salads, as I said. You can use those as desserts. Dessert doesn't have to be pavlova, sorry. It doesn't have to be cheesecake. It doesn't have to be mince pies. It doesn't have to be rumbles. Is that what I've never had one, but that's something over here in Australia. Turkey, I mean, most Australians don't like turkey because they think it's dry. It's only dry if you cook it too much or you don't cook it properly. So turkey's a great festive food, and it's really, really good for you. Walnuts, again, something great to go in salads. Again, something to go into desserts. So it doesn't all have to be chocolate and stuff like that. Smoked salmon, great as entrees, great as breakfast ideas. Smoked salmon and on toast, smoked salmon with cream cheese, creme fraiche, dill, cucumber, delicious. Prawns, I know you Aussies love your prawns at Christmas as an entree or as on the barbecue. But yeah, us Brits, we could have more prawns and not fill up on so many cheese straws from Marks and Spencer's. It's just, again, like I said, it's just flipping those things on their heads, right? It doesn't all have to be carb heavy. And cinnamon, again, put cinnamon in desserts so that your desserts don't have to be full of sugar and chocolate and stuff like that. Ever roasted sweet potato and pumpkin with cinnamon on it? It's delicious. So, as I've said, balanced meals, macronutrients, right? So your carbohydrates, your protein, and your fat. So these are my macronutrients in a festive way. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates don't have to come from bread, pasta, and white potato. They're also found in all of your vegetables in smaller amounts, but if we're cancelling that gym membership, we don't need as much energy. I'm just being facetious. But carbohydrates are our body's fuel source, right? So it's broken down into glucose to help feed our brain and our muscles. But I urge you to get your carbohydrate sources from your green vegetables or your starchy vegetables, as I said here, sprouts, carrots, parsnips, but even beetroot, walnut and balsamic dressing is a great side for a Christmas dish. Again, it's that mindset, right? It's just thinking about what your body needs. It doesn't always need the bread and the pasta, and what is good for you and what is festive. Protein, so your protein is, we need this for our building blocks of the body. They're broken down into amino acids to help build and repair muscles and help cell regeneration. So we're going to get that from our turkey, salmon, prawns, and nuts. So think of even making a pesto sauce to go with in a salad. That's pine nuts, parmesan, which is also a protein, delicious basil, olive oil. It's all the good stuff. It doesn't have to be gravy made with loads of different stuff, like processed stuff with flour and stuff. You can make the good stuff. And fat. Now, I think this is in a slide later on about fat doesn't make you fat, so it's a myth I wanted to debunk. But fat is found in olive oil, avocado, cheese. And although I told you about the calorie content in cheese, when you're on a grazing platter, I'm not saying stay away from the cheese. I'm just saying just be wary of it. And I'm also never going to say to you stay away from fat. Fat doesn't make you fat. It's eating too many calories is where you put on your weight. Fat protects our vital organs. It's another denser source of fuel. So if we're not getting as many carbohydrates, we'll just convert fat into glucose. So we can use it in different ways. It also balances out our hormones, which is something that a lot of us don't know and should know. If you're trying to take fat out of your diet, you're depriving the body of help with hormone synthesis and balancing hormones. It also transports fat-soluble nutrients, vitamins, and it also forms the structures of all of our cells. So it actually protects us. So fat's pretty vital. It is just more for every gram of fat, there is 9 calories instead of 4 calories when you eat protein or carbohydrates. So it is denser, but don't shy away from it. Just be mindful of what you're eating. Just plan and calculate. So again, there's that mindfulness that comes in. Okay. Are you all still with me? I've kind of rambled now for 45 minutes, so I hope I've still got a few of you. Have I? Yes, I've got 5 of you. That's great. And then, as I've said, don't stop exercising. Don't get too overwhelmed and think that that's what has to go and has to fall by the wayside. Exercise in a festive way. So, as I've said, your Christmas catch-ups. Catch up for a glass of wine. Catch up in Hyde Park if you're in the UK. Go to Winter Wonderland. Do a lap of Hyde Park. Go for a walk. Walk down Oxford Street. If you're over here, go and have a picnic in a park, and make healthier food choices, and have a glass of have some champagne, but also drink the sparkling water as well. And as I said, yoga. Maybe it's time, maybe when stress levels are high, we need to reduce that by doing a more restorative exercise routine. So maybe you just go to yoga 3 times a week, or join a HIIT class. As I said, find a friend, go at lunchtime, go after work instead of before work because you're too tired, because you're out more nights at the moment. But still exercise, still move. But if you take 2 things away, it's move and mindset, movement and mindset from today. So my myths debunked, which I probably would have talked a little bit about already. And I talk about this in my normal nutrition consultations and workshops, but just so you know, on packets of stuff, gluten-free, dairy-free and fat-free doesn't always mean better for you. There's usually more additives in there. So if you are trying to flip things on the head and you know that you're eating out a lot more, and then when you go for your grocery shop, you try and get healthier options than usual, it doesn't always work that it will be these things that are free from stuff. Makes it better. A lot of English people will appreciate this one. Brussels sprouts don't have to be boiled within an inch of their life and be tasteless. I mean, Brussels sprouts are obligatory in a UK Christmas, right? But they don't have to be obligatory and disgusting. Jamie Oliver has quite a number of different ways of cooking Brussels sprouts and cooking all loads of different root vegetables. So just have a look on there, on his, I mean, Jamie Oliver's amazing. So just have a look on his website and find some different recipes for different vegetables, and fall in love with vegetables at Christmas. Keep them in your diet and even throw them in your salads, and just find a love for Brussels sprouts because they're delicious. Saturated fat, as I said, fat isn't going to make you fat, and you don't need to be scared of saturated fat when it comes to your cholesterol. But as I said, do be aware of all of your gravies and stuff like that, because they have nasties in them. So where possible, if you're going to have sauces or marinades or things on the side, try and make them yourself. Again, not trying to put more pressure on you, make you more overwhelmed, but just be aware that you don't have to be scared of saturated fat, but also be aware that you don't need to add on loads of gravies and cream and stuff because of the calorie content. It's more so the calorie content, right? That's where we all fall down, as opposed to saturated fat being full of cholesterol. And I say calorie content, and I want to talk about it a bit more here in terms of not every calorie is created equal. So don't swap out your smoothie in the mornings because you know that you've got a morning tea at work and they're going to be mince pies. Still eat your smoothie, or still have your lunch, which is a salad, and try and have half of the mince pie, or go for a walk in the afternoon. But you're not going to, even if the smoothie and the mince pie are the same amount of calories, you're not going to get as much nutrients out of your mince pie. It's not going to fill you up for as long, and you're going to have that sugar crash, and then you're going to have that craving again. You're not going to get that in your smoothie. So remember, fat doesn't make you fat, and not every calorie, and not all calories are created equal. And also, don't write off December, and don't think that you can write it off because you're going to do a juice cleanse in January. You don't need to detox, right? That's your liver's job, and you actually put your body under more stress if you do a juice cleanse or a detox. Just, as I say, be mindful of what you're doing, be mindful of what you're eating, balance it out, have good days, and when the bad days are bad, work around it. Have a plan of action, but don't detox in Jan. Good nutrition tips. Still eat 5 serves of vegetables a day. 80% of what you eat should be homemade, so that might not be the go in December, but try and get it to nearly there. And 80% of what you eat should be healthy and nutritious. I'm not saying the other 20% can be all bets are off, but as I've said, I'm also not saying deprive yourself, and I'm not trying to be a bar humbug Scrooge at Christmas. So enjoy yourself, but if you're going to have those meals that are complete write-offs, then just make sure that the exercise and the foods around it are good. So if you're going out for dinner with friends, or you've got your work Christmas party one day, if you got mince pies, or what was it last year with one of my groups? They came in and said, oh, we've got to work really hard. Mince Christmas pudding flavoured donuts. As I said, just say it's Christmas pudding for Christmas Day. But if you're going to eat the donut, don't eat the donut on the day that you've got the office Christmas party. Choose one meal, choose one blowout, and then that's your 20%, and then the rest, 80%, is good. And what I'm encouraging a lot of people to do, I'm doing it myself, this is how I know how many calories in a mince pie and cheese at the moment, is because know what your calorie intake should be for the day, so that you don't just go in blind and you do just graze across the table for the whole night. Know that you should be only having 1,500 calories, probably not that much, not that less, but 2,000 calories. And do not think I've exercised today, I can eat what I want, or don't plug your exercise into, if you are having a fitness tracker or a calorie tracker, don't plug your exercise in. Just leave that as a bonus. Exercise is so much more than being able to eat what you want. It helps you in health in so many different ways. It keeps you strong. It keeps your immune system healthy. It keeps your mind clear and healthy and positive. So don't just exercise because you want to eat more. So after my waffle, what am I going to be doing? As I've said, I think I've gone through quite a few of these, but I'm going to be doing 20-minute HIIT sessions. When I go home to the UK, then I'm on holiday. So I've got just under 2 weeks before Christmas Day. So I will be running in 5 degrees. In the mornings, I will be intermittent fasting, which is what I'm doing now. So I generally don't eat breakfast. Only drinking on special occasions. Remember, I'm on holidays for 10 days, so there'll be a lot of special occasions. But I'm planning around that, right? So I'll be exercising most days. I'm not eating any chocolate. I will have a few millionaire shortbreads or caramel slices because my mum will buy them because my nan used to buy them. And so we will have a few of those with cups of tea and think of nan. But I'm not going to eat the celebrations. I'm not going to eat the quality streets because I know myself. I won't eat 5, so it's more than 200 calories. And also, that's not what Christmas is about for me. It's not chocolate. It's more cheese, it's Brussels sprouts, it's roast potatoes, it's red wine with my dad. It's the stuff that brings me joy, and chocolate, overeating on chocolate doesn't bring me joy. And as I said, it's not denying myself the roast potatoes, but it's having the other stuff around it as well. And it's making alternative Christmas dessert. So I will have Christmas pudding. I'm not having chocolate, and I will make, I've got a few ideas down here. What are they? It's banana ice cream. It's a coconut yogurt with cinnamon and walnuts. It's a 5-cup salad, which is just natural yogurt, mandarins, pineapple pieces, coconut, and marshmallows. So maybe I'll just put nuts in it instead. You set that, you put a cup of everything in it, mix it together, put it in the fridge, and you let it set overnight. So it's just small things, just things that I don't have to. I'm not going to buy a trifle unless my mum tells me I have to. Or what did we have last year? Some sort of Prosecco cheesecake or something. We don't need that. Anyway, that's a family issue. But so these are the things that I'm doing, and this is what I want you to do. I want to urge you to make a list, get a diary out, figure out when your social engagements are, figure out when you can fit exercise in, and make a list of what is important to you, what Christmas means to you, and where your values fit in line with what your social engagements look like, and make a list of how you can be a little bit healthier this Christmas. So my takeaway tips: pick 5 healthy meals to have throughout the week. So healthy is balanced, right? So your macronutrients, so you'll make sure there's good fats in there, make sure there's vegetables, make sure your carbohydrates are coming from good sources, which are your vegetables, and make sure your protein's coming from good sources of protein. So organic, free range, but full proteins. If you're a vegan, then it will be nuts, and it will be lentils and chickpeas and stuff like that. But know what a good meal looks like, and make sure you have your staples for the weeks in December and for the rest of November. As I said, plan out your social engagements. Pop your exercise in your diary like you would a meeting. This is what I tell all of my clients. Print out, I've got this downloadable template for a monthly planner. Print it out, figure it out. December's a couple of weeks away. You've got time. You've got time to draw all of this in, stop the overwhelming feelings, and really plan and figure out how you want your Christmas to look this year, and for it not to just snowball out of control. And as I said before, build your plate around vegetables. Start from 3 vegetables on your plate, and a serve of veg is a cup, so it's like 70 grams. And try to get your 7 to 8 hours sleep a day, at least 5 times a week, because tiredness also does lead to bad food choices. I mean, your hormones are out of whack, and you just crave, because you've got less energy, you crave those energy dense or quick giving energy foods like your breads and your cakes and your muffins. So, or your Christmas pudding filled Krispy Kreme donuts at 3 o'clock. So sleep, for all of its goodness on your brain, also helps your tummy with cravings. And as I said, I've said this already, don't drink at the weekend if you have nothing on. I mean, if you're normally no drinking Monday to Thursday, but that's not going to happen over Christmas or over in December, then don't drink unless you have to, or on your own on a Friday or with your partner on a Friday night. So they're my takeaway tips in a nutshell. And so I hope I haven't waffled on or bored you too much. Do I still have you all? Yes, I do. Thank you very much for listening. So what now? If you found this useful, great. If you want some help with your exercise, if you'd like my 12 days of Christmas workout, then feel free to drop me an email. I'll send it to you. If I know you well, I will tailor it to you and your needs and your capabilities. And if you would like any further coaching in the new year or going into the festive period to finish your year strong, then please do get in touch. I will be sending this recording to you all, so you can just reply to that. As I said, I'm a health and well-being coach. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a nutrition coach, so I can help you in different areas of your health and well-being if you want to start a journey now, or you do want to finish the year strong or start your new year in a very positive manner. So, but yeah, it's been an hour. I've waffled on. So thank you very much for listening. And I will keep on sharing on social media. And I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy new year. So I'll just stop this now. And I'm back here. And yeah, thank you very much. I'm going to end it now. Okay, bye.